Welcome back to Creativerse. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I have been busy recently. In recent days, I got this area cleared off, cut down a few trees, and got the space all leveled out and everything. And recently, in a live stream, this contraption was developed. Basically, it's an ice machine. And what I propose to do is to build basically an ice factory over there, and it will house a good sized version of this. This is a tiled thing. Basically you've got these first three rows here make up the first tile. And you've got a block phaser back there that pulls the water when you're ready to pull the ice out, so you don't have to fight the ice or fight the water to get to the ice. You pull the ice out, you step back, and then the block phaser releases the water and it flows down and begins to refreeze. Each slice is good for 12 pieces of ice, and I figure about 10 slices or so should be enough that by the time you finish with the last one, the first set should be all refrozen and ready to reharvest. At least that's the working theory. And I figure it's a good time to find out by actually getting this thing built. Now let's see. I want to come back from the water here, probably about to here before starting with the outer wall. So we'll just mark it with that. And let's see. I figured this was a good shot to use some of these industrial blocks, because what could be more industrial than a factory that produces something? Doesn't quite look like a wall, does it? Well, let's just go with it for now and see what we can do here. Alright, now the footprint for the device, the machine, is 3 wide by 5 deep. Let's see. And I've got some of this galactic floor for that. I think it would probably fit just nicely. Let's see, let's pull this up and sink the floor down in. Whoops. Yeah, that'll work. And then each additional slice is 2 blocks additional width. Yeah, okay, so there's the first slice here, here's the second slice, or at least a marker for it. Yeah, so just get this all rigged out. I'm going to plan out for 10 slices here, like I said. Okay, and this is going to be the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So a pretty good size factory here. For the main factory floor, a couple of thoughts on that. Let's see. I've got industrial non-skid floor and some industrial floor. I figure the non-skid floor kind of makes sense in a facility that is producing ice. So that's pretty much what we'd have for floor throughout the whole thing. Yeah. No trespassing. Okay, now let's see. Somewhere around here-ish. All right, maybe not 1 block tall, but oh, come on. Somewhere around here-ish, there's going to be a door coming in here. Windows somewhere in the walls and whatnot. And let's see. Any factory is going to have some kind of an overseer's office or manager or whatever you want to call it. So we'll just have some space set aside for that. And figure that business out later. Yeah. That should be plenty of space there. And coming into the main factory area, this is where this other one comes in. Let's see, probably right about here. All right. Okay, this one, we need to rotate it. Yeah. Now lock the rotation. Now if that was black and yellow caution tape painted like that, it would be perfect. So, and in this area, since it's not actual function area of the factory, we just use the same block with its default concrete looking face in here and in L Manager's office. And I notice this block has a number of different faces on it that you can use, and that's cool. It's got a lot of different uses you can put it to. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and get the flooring in and get this area in for the actual machines, get these marker blocks out of here, and get the walls installed at least a couple of blocks high, and we'll be back. All right, I've been puzzling with this thing for a while, and I think I've got something that's sort of, kind of, almost passable-ish, but I think it needs a lot of work. The exterior in particular. Because that one wall block, because, I mean this one, the industrial wall, that worked out okay, although, honestly, there's too much of it on the outside. On the inside, it's not that big a deal. There's other things that take your eye away from it, but on the outside, I need to use something different, some way, to make it look not so like garbage. This other stuff, this industrial graded wall, I'm sorry, that's not a wall. It does not even remotely look like a wall. I've seen floor like that. I used it for ceiling on this one. And that seems to work. And by the way, I have a question for those who know. Since I've started playing Creativerse, the one thing I've heard a lot is that mobs of any stripe, hostile or otherwise, do not spawn on crafted blocks. The top of that building is made with crafted blocks. Limestone wall is the ceiling, and limestone slope for the edge and the outside corners, of course. How did he get up there? I'll tell you how he got up there. I wasn't recording at the time, but he spawned up there. Appeared in a white puff of smoke. You know, just the way they do. Don't spawn on crafted blocks, huh? Yeah. Something's not right with that. Okay. For the roof of this place, I use the windows in here down the middle, groups of windows, as kind of a skylight thing. And I think that works. I think the roof, it can work because mostly it's a case of who bothers to look up. That light works over the door. Great. This is the office area that I built. I suppose I should have put the blocks in the corner there. Got a door in here. There's the office. This is the best I could do for a desk, which is terrible. An office like this would actually have a desk in it, but of course we don't have anything that's like a desk. These industrial lockers, they work beautifully as file cabinets. That's fantastic. The wooden chair, it's a cheap company. What the heck? Inside, as you can tell, it is way dark. These here industrial tables, they do fine as like places where stuff would be packed and stocked and kept on, use them like industrial shelving, basically, where stuff would be held pending being taken out and shipped somewhere or something like that. I decided to have this stripe out here between the working area and the machine area and the packing and shipping area and so on. One thing I got to do something about is lighting. And I've been kind of fussing with this for a while now. See, I've got, oh, here they are. Okay, we've got that light, which I suppose might work on the ceiling. Say, put it a few blocks apart, something like that. But it's not really none too bright. I don't like it against the wall because there is no visible support coming out. Like such a thing would have against the wall. It would hang from something. The way it kind of looks like it does in the icon down in the hotbar. Now this one, that one's made for the wall. You can tell that because if you rotate it, you can see it's got a flat side and a not flat side. And I've tried. You can't get that rotated right on the ceiling. Because you can rotate it like that, but you can't do it in such a way. You see here you've got the light part of it down, but one side's totally flat. It's meant to be against a wall. So that leaves the next option, which I would probably use over here at least, is the galactic light. Because it just seems to work. Produces a much better amount of light, although there's still not much in the way of light down here. Now this area here we're not worried about because that's where the machine's going to be built. And honestly, I don't know why I use this stuff here because it's going to be under the machine. It's never going to be seen. I could have used stone there, and I may change it out. And instead have some of this running along this edge here where the, right up against the machine, or maybe around the machine, so to speak. That might be an idea. But I think for right now, what I'm going to do here for light, let's see, let's start on the third block out from the wall right here, like that. And just every third all the way. Get you out of there. Get you out of there. Yeah. So let's see. Can't do that same spacing because, yeah, I have a feeling that I end up going with something like this for the production area. And get all of these in here. Now, how are we doing for light? Better. Alright, I'll tell you what. I am going to change out this section of floor and do that a little bit differently. And then I will be back and we'll get this machine put together. Alright, I think that's looking about the best it's going to. You know, the one thing that occurred to me is that with lighting for a factory or industrial kind of lighting, whatever happened to fluorescent tubes? You know, that is so factory, I tell you. So anyway, we got these things down here, and there's going to be a few of them pulled up for block phase or pressure plates. I went with these on the wall here, and I may end up putting some on the wall back there, just for general principles and so on. But okay, let's do something here. Some ice, some phasers, and there's my stacked stone wall for general principles. All right. Okay. Yeah. Pressure pads. Okay. Good. Now let's see if I can not mess this up. It's 1, 2, 3 blocks, 4 blocks. Ooh, I may have to move the ceiling. It says 1, 2, 3, 4. And the block phaser would go up there, so those two can't be ice. All right. Yeah. Block phaser would go here. I appear to have gotten stuck in that spot. All right. Block phaser. Okay. So we finish it off with ice. Okay. And let's see, I'm going to have to wire this up. Okay. interact with. Alright, we don't need to mess with any, it'll take off the can't interact. Yeah, alright. This wires up to that. And then, yeah. I need some water. Okay, I got some right over here. I just have to run down below to get it. Ooh, lag burst. Okay. Now let me put a block there to keep the water flowing all over me. Or prevent it from flowing all over me, I think. Yeah. And now interact with this thing. And I want it to hold just that first block of water. And the way water works in this game, it'll flow forward 4 blocks, even if it's going down a block. So that will just freeze right on up, just as happy as you like. All right. All right, now here, that. And then the rest of that is ice. And up there, another block phaser. And then ice there. There. Yeah. Okay. Drop the water here. Tell the machine to remember that. Pressure pad. I am aiming at a machine, you genius. Apparently I have to aim at its send input. Okay. And that's the way they're all going to be. Stand on the pressure plate. Block phaser picks up the water, get off of it, and it releases the water. And eventually, these top blocks should freeze. Okay. I am going to continue with this and get the remaining 8 slices built, and I'll be back. Alrighty, I think this thing is finished. It looks pretty good, and with this thing in here and reflecting light off of those and whatnot, it's actually got it reasonably well lit in here. Except for around here and except for around back, but honestly, we don't care about that. I did think of one other thing here. This industrial vent. with the smoke and whatnot that it puts out. How about that? Could look like something to do with the refrigeration system that makes all this possible. I don't know. But in any event, the only problem I've noticed is that the blocks of water up here at the end are never freezing. And I can show you in my prototype on the roof of the base over there that it does. And you know, honestly, it was silly of me, but the first thought I had was the lights were producing too much heat. The heat coming from the lights and preventing the water from freezing, and that's ridiculous, of course. But I do believe that this extra block right here should promote freezing where we want it, as long as I can place them correctly. Yeah, look at that. Bang. The final block is freezing all the way down the line. All right, good. That's a little bit sticky outy, but you know, I'm cool with that. This is the point where I wish really that I could do a third-person camera. Basically, a second account that could log into this world, and I could position that camera, say, right there, aimed like this, and turn the HUD off, and then with my actual account, I would do what I'm about to do, and that is to go ahead and harvest the ice out of the machine. There's no ice in my inventory now. I just put it away. Handy locker. All right, time to harvest this thing. You get 3 blocks per row. Move on to the next one. Probably don't want to try to do it super fast, and that gives the water on the top a chance to actually be retracted or stop flowing. Oops, I was a little fast. And by the time I get to the end, I should have 12 times 10, 120 ice. And the parts up at the beginning should be refrozen. And let's see, I'm about halfway there. Okay, that's up to 96 ice. $106. Okay, that's 120 ice. And we come back up here, and the first 2 are already refrozen. And basically it looks like it could take like a minute or so, a minute, maybe 2 minutes between harvests, and the thing would be completely refrozen. So that works. 120 ice per run. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gotta come up with something to do there. All right, here we go. One last little touch here. Yeah. I think that gives it just the right kind of look here, so that that thing isn't just kind of sticking out. And it looks like I missed in having enough. That's okay. I'll get another one out here later. Yeah. There you go. One industrial ice machine. An industrial ice factory, as it were. I think that's a successful build. Well, see what we come up with next. Sometime soon, I want to start doing something about putting in streets around here. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.